'05 Ultra Classic. 2 flat tires, same time, 90 miles an hour. Don't let this happen to you. Hey folks, it's Joe. Gotta know Joe Hobbies here in Spring, Texas. Night before last, where did those come from? Night before last, I was out for a little ride on my motorcycle, trying to just blow off a little steam as we want to do every once in a while. And I got 2 flats on my motorcycle when I was running down the freeway. It scared the living fire out of me. Let me tell you how it happened. And this is my '05 Classic. I purchased this thing. That is a air pressure and air temp sensor. And it was really working good, and I was really happy to have it. I've tried a couple of other ways to check air pressure without having to bend over. This one here worked. It didn't leak, worked good, gave me correct readings. I've done all the testing, air test leaks, everything, and it all worked great, and I was really... When I left, my front tire was at 37, my rear tire was at 37, and both of them was at about 71 degrees. I heard a bit of a noise and started to slow to investigate, and man, I'm glad I did. By the time I got pulled over, my bike was starting to run a little squirrely. At 1:30 in the morning on the feeder of 45 here in Houston, I just went ahead and made the call. Got my son to bring my trailer so we could load it up and bring her home. We put the pike on the center jack and lifted it up so we'd have good clear access with a bunch of lights, and put some air in the back tire just for it to all escape. It was easy to find out where it was coming from. Not one, but both of my valve stems were broken. Broken off at the base.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is wrong. Everybody sucks.
At just under 10 grams each, they really don't weigh that much. Here's a rim off an '05 Harley-Davidson Ultra Classic. I want you to pay close attention to the stem and how it's kind of offset to the side, not straight up and down. So this is the problem. So I pulled out some old Russian surplus that we had bought so we could do some more testing. Now the centrifuge here is going to be our Harley rim, and the head of our test subject here, well, that's going to be the little sending unit that's on our rim. Since this valve stem is offset, not straight up and down, you can see that the head of the valve stem, or the head of Billy here, it wants to sling out a little further due to the centrifugal force. And this is where our problem gets really bad and really dangerous. Billy's not doing too damn good himself. Billy's head, I mean our sending unit, increases in weight the faster we go, and this is the problem. We're going to have to figure out the tangential velocity, angular velocity, the mass, the forward speed. We're going to have to get into the physics, and I don't have time to go through all of that because I'd have to stop this video and go sign up for college and learn all of it first. The faster you spend something, the heavier it gets. The heavier it gets, the more force it's going to have. The more force it has, the more destruction it can do. And that's what's happened to us. It may not be a problem on every rim on the market, because all of them are a little different. It may or may not be a problem if you have an inner tube, because you've got that metal core inside. If you have metal stems, it may be okay. But on the '05 Classic, you got something else that comes to play here, and that's clearance. Clarence told me about that. This diagram shows us the front tire, the forks, and the calipers. With a very costly high-speed camera, we were able to provide this image of side-by-side showing 0 miles per hour, 40 miles per hour, and 80 miles per hour. At 80 miles an hour, it's clear. that our sending unit and caliper are probably going to collide. But even if they don't collide, there's still a problem. So look, I'm no scientist and I didn't even play one on TV. I've been known to play a pretty good crash dummy though. So let's recap what we've learned. This little just under 10 gram sending unit, when you spool up that thing on your rim, it gets heavier because that stem sets out to the side if yours does. If you have a rubber stem, it's going to probably break off, even if it's not striking anything underneath there like it is on mine. But on the Ultra Classic, it hits. It will hit. So if you wanted to use it, you're going to have to change the stem out to a metal one, and you're going to have to make dadgum sure that it's got plenty of clearance so it's not hitting anything down there. If your setup is a little bit different and you're using this system, please, please, please watch it and make sure that this doesn't happen to you. I was fortunate. I didn't have an accident. I was also fortunate that I was less than 10 miles away from home, and I have a trailer and a son that could come get me. This could have cost me money for a tow, and of course running the night that I was out riding. And it also could have cost me over $600 to replace 2 damaged tires. But it could have cost me my life. This little $40 apparatus sure did get expensive. Thanks for watching. Got to Know Joe Hobbies here in Spring, Texas. Give us a call for any of your hobby needs. Give us a call if you want to go riding. Y'all be safe. See you later.